Unlocked phones that don't really break the bank. The list really isn't long. At $349, we've got the Nexus 5, a little lower at $249. The Nexus 4 is still a good deal. Even lower, we have the Motorola Moto G at $179 unlocked. Most of you watching would be aware of these three phones, but there is another that kind of slots both above as well as below the Moto G at the same time. The Hongmi from Xiaomi. The reason I say it slots both above as well as below the Moto G is because Xiaomi actually sells this phone for about $130, but since they don't ship it internationally and there are limited stocks, with Xiaomi being a relatively new company, it ends up costing the international buyer about $200. Anyway, thanks to MirrorMobiles.com, we've managed to get our hands on the WCDMA variant of the Hongmi. And while I usually like to keep my comparison and review videos separate, but there is absolutely no way that I could review the Hongmi without talking about the Moto G. The Moto G is available locally, you have service centers locally, which means claiming warranty is easier, and it's actually a bit cheaper than the Hongmi for international buyers. So in this review, we're going to try to answer two questions. 1. Is the Hongmi, which means red rice in Mandarin by the way, a good phone? Number 2. Is it worth choosing the Hongmi over the Moto G? Well, as always, if this is your first time here or in case you banged your head and can't remember, my name's Ash and you're watching C4E Tech. Let's get started. Let's start with the build. Just like with the Mi 3 that we reviewed a week back, the Hongmi's design is also inspired by Nokia's Lumia line. At the bottom, we have the micro USB port and the primary microphone. To the right, the power button and the volume rockers. On top, the 3.5mm headphone jack, and there's nothing to the left. The phone is just 9.9mm thick and a little bit on the heavier side at 162 grams. The body is made out of polycarbonate, yes, but feels quite sturdy. The buttons feel tactile, no creaking or wobbling of any kind. To the front, on top, we have the 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, earpiece, sensors, lower below the 4.7-inch LCD display, and at the bottom, a set of capacitive menu, home and back keys, and below that, a notification LED. Keep in mind the capacitive keys are not backlit, a major negative in my honest opinion. To the back, we have the secondary noise-cancelling microphone, 8 megapixel rear camera, LED flash, the internal speaker to the right, and at the bottom, the Xiaomi branding. The back is user removable and inside we find two full-size SIM card slots, a micro SD card slot, and the user replaceable 2000 mAh battery. The micro SD slot is a welcome inclusion given that the Hongmi ships with just 4 gigs on board. The Gorilla Glass 2 covered 4.7-inch 720p LCD display gives the Hongmi a pixel density of 312 pixels per inch. When the display is turned off, it looks like one of those cheap displays used in knockoffs, but turn it on and prepare to be surprised. It's bright, sharp, and the colors are natural. Sunlight legibility is decent and the viewing angles are great. Under the hood, the Hongmi is powered by the Mediatek 6589T chipset. The 6589T houses 4 Cortex A7 cores clocked at 1.5 GHz each, coupled with the PowerVR SGX544 GPU and 1 GB of RAM. While the scores are decent, the Moto G does outperform the Hongmi in nearly every benchmark. But then again, keep in mind the Moto G is running on Android 4.4 KitKat, which is known to be less demanding on hardware than Jellybean 4.2.2 that the Hongmi runs on. When it came to real-life performance like say gaming, the PowerVR SGX544 GPU was pretty decent. It ran most games fine, even some graphically intensive titles. With a few games though, there were noticeable frame rate drops, a little bit of lag here and there, but these were rare and far between. The audio via the internal speakers, while loud, is not of the best quality, but I wouldn't really read a lot into it given the price. The Hongmi doesn't ship with earphones included in the box, but Xiaomi does sell these piston earphones separately and they sound great with the Hongmi or any other phone for that matter. Now moving on to the camera, the 8 megapixel rear camera on the Hongmi can take really great pictures. It is very quick to focus and can even shoot some great macro shots. It rivals the best cameras from 2012 flagships. 1080p video recording which it supports was also pretty smooth. The camera is actually one area where the Hongmi blows the Moto G away. The 2000 mAh battery on the Hongmi performs well, with moderate usage, getting through a day on a single charge shouldn't be an issue. On a looping video playback test, the Hongmi lasted close to 7 hours before finally running out of juice. Now we get to what makes or breaks a phone, and anyone who's seen my Mi 3 review knows that I'm a fan of Xiaomi's MIUI. The Hongmi runs Android 4.2.2 with Xiaomi's custom MIUI v5 on top. MIUI is very customizable. Even without rooting your phone, you can change everything from your boot animation, system font, the kind of lock screen you have, the way your dialer or notifications area look, and so on. Just like with the Mi 3, the Hongmi doesn't ship with Google's Play Store on board due to Chinese regulations. But open up the Mi Store, yes, it's in Chinese, don't worry about it. Type in Google, download the app by Eric Xiang, and that's it. This gets you the Play Store and all of Google's services. You'd never have to use the Mi Store again. Now the user interface itself is pretty simple. No app drawer here. All your apps go right onto your home screen just like with iOS. Xiaomi also adds quite a few of their own apps here, and actually they serve a purpose. Mi Cloud works great. You get to read your messages, check your contacts, back them up, and even track your phone remotely in case you've lost it. You also get a comprehensive security suite. Guard for firewall and blacklisting, backup, well that's self-explanatory, an antivirus in the form of virus scanner, a data monitor, auto start to manage apps that start at boot, and a permissions manager. With the developer edition of the firmware which Xiaomi provides officially, the permissions manager also provides root access. And then there's the themes app. And that's where you find all the icon packs, boot animations, wallpapers, lock screens, fonts, and everything else that I mentioned earlier. In my Mi 3 review, I asked you guys if you'd like to see a separate MIUI explained video, and it seems there are quite a few of you who want to see that. So yes, I hear you. I'll shoot that video in a week or two, and I'll leave a link to that video right below the like button. So for more details on MIUI, you can check that video out. As far as the Hongmi is concerned though, everything's fast, smooth and stable, apps open up quick, and there's little to no lag. I've not experienced a single crash in the month that I've spent with the Hongmi. And I've used MIUI v5 on my Galaxy S4, HTC One, and of course Xiaomi's own Mi 3. And while yes, MIUI on these devices is a little faster than MIUI on Hongmi, but it isn't definitely something you'd notice unless you're comparing performance side by side with those devices. So now this brings us to the conclusion of this video. Question 1. Is the Hongmi any good? The answer is simple, yes it is. It has the specs to blow away most sub $300 phones from 2013 barring the Nexus 4 and the Moto G of course. And therein lies the answer to question 2. Well, it does have a few advantages over the Moto G in terms of camera performance, expandable storage, a user replaceable battery, and MIUI's extreme customization options. That might just not be enough to overlook the Moto G's better performance, instant updates, clean stock vanilla Android UI, and international availability. Well, the Hongmi almost matches the Moto G in most departments and scores some important wins in a few critical areas. The lack of international availability and or the hassles associated with importing a phone might keep you away. But what I'd say is if you end up daring to take the plunge and decide to get the Hongmi, you will definitely be pleasantly surprised. So if you do decide to get the Hongmi, make sure you get the WCDMA variant, since the TVS-CDMA variant will not work with international 3G frequencies. MiraMobiles.com sells the WCDMA variant of the Xiaomi Hongmi, so you can hit them up. I'll leave a direct link to that right below the like button in the description. So these are my thoughts, but what do you guys think? Do you think you could get yourself to give the Hongmi a try, or do you think the lack of brand recognition and international availability would keep you away? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So I guess that pretty much wraps up this review. If you guys liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and for more videos like these, make sure you stay subscribed. So once again, thanks a lot for watching guys, and I'll catch you soon in the next one. Till then, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.